Yo, what's up? Welcome back to Fighting Out of Cape Town. It's your boy Zaz.
Vicious.
What's up, Vishy?
What's up, my G?
It was crazy. Do you know? Because I don't know. I don't know if you know that I know, or if you know that I don't know that you don't know. There's a lot of things we don't know.
We don't know.
But we're going to figure it out in this video. What's up, y'all?
I guess it's because the car was down under.
Possibly, but topsy-turvy. Okay, obviously, look, I'm sure everybody had a blast on the squad. I mean, there were certain lulling moments, but for the most part, it was interesting, it was fun, it was jam-packed. And we're going to unpack it all here today. Vichy, the first fight on the main card was a light heavyweight bout between Jimmy Cute and Alonzo Menifield. What are your thoughts?
Alonzo dropped my boy too many times.
Yo, I thought it was a street fight at the
Yo, 100% look, Alonzo dropped Jimmy Crute so many times. I give Jimmy Crute credit though, he got up every single time. However, Alonzo had terrible fight IQ.
Oh my goodness.
This brah had terrible decision making. He kept putting him in the clinch and allowing my brah to recover.
Yeah.
And then, okay, maybe he was gassed. Maybe a lot of output, 37-year-old man, you know, we give it to him. Additionally, he grabbed the fucking fence though, man, bro. He grabbed the fence, guys. He grabbed the fence.
Look, we've seen many grab the fence. I'm glad he got sanctioned for it. You know, because he deserves it.
There's a lot of other refs just like,
We saw it in the main fight.
yeah, 100%.
You see, when the conversation goes for you, then it's easy to bandwagon or jump on that fight when it goes against you. One time that he did it, he got penalized and he should have, rightfully so. I'll come back to this point, but Mark did it to Islam.
Yeah.
When Mark told him, hey, things out the gloves. But that's the same as holding the fence. That should also be, that's the first offense. It doesn't matter. It's not, oh, I'm warning you this time. It's not supposed to be that way. If you grab somebody in the glove, that's a point off. If you grab the fence like this, stopping a position, stopping transition, it's a point off. Oh, he couldn't do nothing in the subs. Yeah, you're grabbing the inside of his glove.
Yeah,
So
it's illegal.
It's illegal.
Yeah.
Anyways.
And it ended up being a draw, which could have easily been a win for Alonzo Menifield. So yeah, I think terrible decision making, terrible fighter IQ. This could have easily been avoided, and Alonzo could have been going on with a win.
Yeah, I agree. Look, I think there were opportunities for him to take more risks, and he never took more risks.
Yeah.
I think he did well and bad.
Yeah, in the same fight. So, Alonzo Menifield is doing things nobody else is doing. He's doing well and bad in the same fight. He's a pioneer of the sport.
I don't know what more to say. But look, I have mad respect for him because he's a unit.
Yeah.
He's a unit, so I can imagine all that fuel, all that muscle requires fuel, and that muscle eventually starts to diminish your energy stores over time. And Jimmy Crute is a big guy, naturally bigger. So I think it was, one of those topsy-turvy ones. But obviously, Menifield should have technically won. I know people felt Crute won that fight, even with especially with the subtracted point, but neither here nor there. Neither really knows.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't really matter. Either or, what we do know is that it was a draw, and hopefully they don't fight again.
Yeah.
We want the people who draw to fight again. This time, I really hope they don't. Whatever you do, if they do fight, don't phone me. Okay, Vichy. Moving on to our second fight on the main card of this UFC 284 card. Justin Tafa versus Parker Porter. Parker Porter sounds like he's Peter Parker's cousin.
Johan.
But he looked like he's Roy Nelson's cousin. And he fight like he's Alonzo Menifield's cousin. Oh, look, I thought it was entertaining. I thought it was going to be, I thought it was going to be, but, and it was, it lived up to expectations. Vichy, how did you think, how do you feel about this fight, brother?
Blink of an eye. Justin Tafa getting his second KO, third KO of his career, very nice. Came in, very early on in the fight. Parker reached in, Tafa with a very nice step back counter, fucked him up.
Beautiful timing.
And man was out cold.
Beautiful timing, bro.
Beautiful.
This guy Justin Taffa seems like a stoic motherfucker.
Yeah, literally.
Hey?
Doesn't say much. Very blank expression
Hey,
on the
you
face.
won.
Yeah,
Hey, you lost.
Hey.
Hey, you know all the happiest moments in life. I love it. He's there to fight.
He's there to fight.
Love
This is his job. You know what I mean? You know how some people go to work upset that they were at work? He look like that.
He look like he clocks into work and gives his money off, like you have to pay him to be there. But I love it. Absolutely love it. Yeah, Vichy, look, it was a tough one. I think it was always going to be difficult for Parker Porter. It was always going to be difficult for Parker Porter to deal with Justin Taffa and his power and his movement more so, because Justin Taffa is one of those thick boys that moves really well, great feet. And Parker Porter, if he overextends, which he does, Justin Taffa clearly knew, wait for the moment, as soon as he throws, if you know what the read looks like, whang, finish the fight. Beautiful execution, beautiful timing, and a knockout victory for Justin Taffa.
Yes, sir.
Vichy, the third fight was a welterweight fight. I don't know, between Jack Della Maddalena and heavyweight Randy Brown. That's what it looked like.
It looked like
David and Goliath, but David was the bully.
Yo,
You know what I mean?
100%.
And Goliath was like, this really nice big guy. Like that didn't really want any smoke. He was there for sweets. And Jack Della Maddalena came there and he wanted his shoes. He wanted something more.
100%.
What do you think we should have?
The only rude boy this weekend was when Rihanna sang on Sunday during a halftime Super Bowl show.
Quality sound.
Randy Brown, he tried to stay long. He tried to keep the distance. Jack was patient and pounced at the very right moment. Shoot shot, face, planted him. Near naked choke. End of story. Good night. This is the fourth first round finish for my brother Jack Della Maddalena. And is the hype real?
He's gonna be a champion.
I also think so, man.
He's gonna be a champion.
Also
I think it's gonna take Maradona to come out of I shouldn't have said it. I don't know. It's like a spectral human being. Stop JDM.
Gonna take a hand of God.
That's what I'm saying, though. And I don't think that would be enough.
Yo.
I genuinely think whoever made his nose, Travis, are you watching? Whoever hit his nose like that, not my friend John, says that the person who did that thing to Jack's nose, he's buried in a shallow grave. So look, JDM is a killer. Something I just wanted to highlight about this fight, because there's not much to go off of. Something I want to highlight is that Randy Brown did nothing wrong. Usually when you lose a fight or get knocked out or get clipped or get subbed, it was because you made a mistake. There was no mistake. JDM is so good that it didn't matter what Randy was going to do or I was going to try to defend the attack or prevent it, he was going to get slipped. I think Jack Della Maddalena's timing is way too good, and I think what I noticed, even in the main event, I noticed there were times where Volk and Islam, and obviously they're trying to lay leather into each other, right? And there's magnitude built into that fight, where this one, it's a lot less stakes on the line, right? But what I noticed from them was, when they would throw at times, and their feet would not be in the best position. Jack Della Maddalena, it's almost like he doesn't throw a punch if he's not in a good spot with his feet. When he knocked out Randy Brown, it was the right that literally on the button, and that made his balance go off and fell in his fucking face. JDM, he turns just before, then you can watch how he shifts. He changes his body and changes the way he loads it. I swear to you, this guy is going to be a champion.
Yes, he is.
Okay, Vichy.
Yes, sir.
The first title fight of the night.
Yes, sir.
The co-main event of the evening. A featherweight bout between Yair Rodriguez and Josh Alexander Volkanovski Emmett. I think it was him. I thought Volk was fighting twice. What were your thoughts, Vichy, on this fight?
Yair Rodriguez with his first UFC submission. Win.
Wow.
Very nice.
Wow.
Very nice. Look, he survived a really one big punch from Josh. One hard one.
Yeah.
Which we know Josh even can throw at some point.
I
But
thought they would hurt him more than they did. Apparently didn't.
yeah. But you know what now? Yair Rodriguez won every other aspect of that fight. Remember the body kicks? Sharp. Aya. Folded that, bruh. Folded him. You know, Josh even ended up taking him down, but what does Yair do? Hey.
Fight off the back. I thought it was
Elbow.
Tony Ferguson. Ferguson fighting Tony at one stage. I didn't know what was going on.
Yo, and Yair actually looks Mexican.
Yeah.
Exceptional on the ground. Yair Rodriguez, exceptional. And everywhere, from the elbows to everything that he did, and the way he ended the fight with a triangle choke.
Nasty, son. Nasty.
Nasty. Deserves the interim title. Well done, Yair Rodriguez. Can't wait to see him fight. Volkanovski.
Wow, look, I thought Josh Emmett would win this fight. Because in my mind, for some reason, I just felt Yair would overthrow, and I thought he would be stuck in moments and he would be there for Josh to hit, and that was completely the opposite way around. And I'm so happy, because most people predicted that, and so I'm really happy that that's the scenario, the case, especially with who Josh Emmett is and who Yair Rodriguez is, and both his stories. Like, it's not over for Josh Emmett, obviously, unless he decides so, but he's a powerful puncher and he has a lot of explosiveness. He reminds me a bit of Michael Chandler, but he just could not pick up a read of Yair for much of the fight. And I thought that Yair really got him, at the right time. And if it didn't end then, it would have gone on and potentially he would have ended up in a lot worse conditions. So I think it actually ended, the way it ended was actually perfect. And I think it was Yair's time. It looked like he was ready for his time. Everything just, looked really good. He stood, he was very responsive, very active, very explosive. He seemed to stay in just outside of range, comfortably. There was a time, obviously, when Emmett took him down, and it's because he threw a flippin'. He changed his sense of gravity by doing some kind of flip kicking.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was Luis Nani there. You know what I mean? I don't know. After getting a assist, he went to celebrate himself. Corkscrew spin. Like, stop that shit. I love it. I only say it because it's such a highlighted point to get, or to find yourself in a bad, compromising position.
Yes.
But I love Yair. I still think there's something in Josh Emmett, I'll be honest with you.
Oh, definitely.
The boy looked thick, and potentially I think he wanted to be too thick, so they had more power. Who knows what
And
the
that one
recipe
moment,
was.
that one moment was the moment that they were looking for.
Exactly.
It really hurt him.
Exactly.
They were hoping to capitalize on that specific moment in this fight.
Exactly, bro.
And the plan just didn't go according to plan for them.
Execution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just didn't go. But against somebody else,
Who knows? And I think their team was probably thinking him versus Volkanovski is a different fight, right? Because of the styles.
Yes.
But Yair, it's so tough to get that guy. So skillful. Really happy for him, and he's the new interim featherweight champion, and he will be obviously taking on Alex Volkanovski at some point. Let's see how they both recover and when that will be announced. Vichy,
Yes, sir.
we move on to the main event of the evening, the lightweight title bout, the fight for the #1 pound for pound champion, the super fight
Yes.
of 2023, and in my opinion, the fight of the year without a doubt so far.
Yes, 100%.
Islam Makhachev defeats Alexander Volkanovski. Alexander the Great, I call him Alexander the Greatest. Volkanovski, I think that nickname should be amended because he is arguably the greatest in my opinion. But these two, they fought a war for 25 minutes, Vishen.
Yes, sir.
Did you think Islam won or did you think Volk won?
Look, I think Volk looked sharp and fast on his feet.
Yes.
Volk hurt him on his feet mainly in the later rounds, right?
Yeah.
Islam had the power advantage, I would say, being able to hit him with short shots, wobble him a little bit, you know. Islam read Volk's sides very well, though, even though obviously the ones that he could read. He came with great counter strikes, he reacted with great wrestling when needed. Islam, you know, he went away from the usual, if you call it father's plan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The usual Dagestani sort of engage in the wrestling as soon as possible kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
To end the fight quickly. He went away from it. He stood up to Volkanovski, right? And that's why probably this fight went on so long, right? Didn't exactly work for Volk though, even though it played into his game, right? There were many rounds. Most of the judges believe that first, second, and fourth went to Islam. I tend to agree. I think Volk was good in the fifth, but I don't think it was enough. I think Islam definitely deserved to win it. I don't think there's moments that give me definitive answers except for the fifth round. I think the fifth round is definitive, the most definitive round out of all of them. I think that the rest of the rounds, you could chuck it up to honestly be, some of them you can chuck them up to be almost either of them, right?
100%, most of them.
Most of them. I think in a way, this conversation comes up once again. Did the referees give Islam, the judges, sorry, did they give Islam the benefit of the doubt because he's a champion?
I don't think that's how they do it, right? Personally. So the way in which the judges do it is they sit at their table, they watch this fight live, they have their piece of paper, they have all the metric systems on the piece of paper. They answer who did more, who won more, who did what they saw. They tear that page off, they then hand it in. So they can't get around back score. You can't get around one score back.
Yeah.
So it's done. So each round is scored independently. So Alex and Islam fights. I thought this, he thought that, and he thought that, or she thought that. And they hand it in next round. By the time the fight is done, they are telling. That's what they're doing sometimes, is telling.
Yeah.
Like, wait, what, how much. So I think it's tough. It's really tough to say. But personally, I'll tell you what I think. I think on first glance, I thought that was Islam 3-2. I thought the end of the fifth round looked bad. The last minute and a half looked amazing for Volkanovski because of the position, right? But I think, I think that up until that point, I thought Islam Makhachev would win the fight.
Yeah.
I was winning the fight. I'll tell you why, right after. Then I saw Volkanovski say what he says. That's so easy. I decided to say what he said. I understand that they're the same thing. Man. So I get it. But then I see Joe Rogan, this video of Joe Rogan, and the boys on the fight companion, and he's talking like it's an absolute, right? Like, oh, Volk's won this, and I see the narrative going, oh shit, it's going south, it's going that way, and I'm like, okay, like, either you can say there's merit to it or there's not, right? So I went to go watch the fight a couple more times, and I'll tell you what I saw. I went round 1, who won? Just watch round 1 independently. Round 2, round 3, round 4. It's still just an opinion. The next time I watched it, I just watched the whole fight, and I was like, oh, Volk might have taken that. And the third time I did it round by round, and I think Islam won it. Yeah. I genuinely do. I realized why it's so close and why it felt like, whoa, Volk might be winning this. Because at vital stages of the fight, it seemed like Volk was the one coming out on top. He was turning and getting out of a submission or hold, right? He was, it somehow seemed like, oh, Volk's there, oh, Volk did something, he's laughing, it's something positive. Up until that point, he was in a dominated position. He was being dominated in position. And I think that's what people are overlooking a lot, is that the body triangle, right? He was hitting him, he got like 30 punches from that. His punches is 160 punches, right? Islam, like just under 100. It's like, that's not hurting him, he's laughing at you. And ultimately, the ref cannot take him off because he's in a a dominant position.
100%.
So it's your job as
To get out of
Volkanovski
that
to
position.
be able to get out of it or not.
Yeah.
And even though he did successfully get out of it at times, how long was he controlled for in dominant position
ground
where he
control,
couldn't
bro.
do anything about it?
Yeah.
He was stopping himself from getting finished. That does not equate to winning.
Yeah.
And I think that's where a lot of people get twisted now. People go, oh, but total strikes, or significant strikes, 70 to 60 significant strikes. Right, 70 for Volk, 60 to Islam. What I want to say about it is, who had the harder shots? I see that they gave Volk 1 knockdown, they didn't give Islam any knockdown. Islam knocked him down 4 times. I don't know how. I'm confused. Which is why I'm...
And made him go down.
And besides that, I'm just looking in this category, in that category. Volk usually takes more risks. Why didn't he take more risks?
True.
There was a time where Islam stunned him, and I don't know why Islam did not go for it. And there was a time where Volk made Islam slip and fall on his head and didn't capitalize either. And I don't think it was because he didn't want to, it's because he couldn't.
Yeah.
Right? I think that means something. And I think if somebody is walking you down, if somebody is controlling you every time, you know what I mean? Volk, people are so impressed with Volk's wrestling. How many times did he take Islam down? 0.
0. His wrestling defense was probably somewhat good because he got out.
It's because he didn't get finished.
Yeah.
Even in the first round, he sat there going, he wasn't getting out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think it's really tough. I think, the last thing I'll say is Islam Makhachev spoke after the fight and he said, I wasn't joking when I said I wanted to knock him out. Our plan was not to wrestle him at all. Because he's shorter. It's tougher. It's going to be tougher for me to wrestle him, for me to get dominant position on him.
Yeah.
That's why I said those things, he's a short guy and all these things. I wanted to make him come at me like that, and I wanted to strike with him.
Yeah.
That was the whole plan.
100%.
So I think sometimes people also want to be the oracle too much, and I love Volk even more. I didn't think I could, he literally said that, and I couldn't share that sentiment more. I love Alexander, the greatest Volkanovski, because that's what I'm going to call him from now on. But I don't think he won that fight. Genuinely, I don't think he won that fight. I'm not trying to be a homer, nothing. After this, I think I like Volk more than Islam, right? He did not lose that fight. I don't think Islam lost that fight. I think he won the fight. I think he won 1, I think he won 2, and I think he won 4. I think it's simple. I think 3 was close. I think 5 was close until the last minute, and there's probably no way in hell you can give that to Islam after. I wish we had a 6th round. I wish we had extra time. I wish we should. I genuinely feel like we should run this back. Run it back now. Yes. Yeah, he did beautifully, Charles versus Benil Dariush, and the winner will get his. Sounds beautiful.
Yes.
Fuck that shit. Run this one back.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if anybody else gets angry or upset since when does
that matter?
Does the UFC or anybody care?
Yeah.
Run this one back.
Run it back.
Tell them, yo, Volk, do you wanna defend against Yair? Okay, you can defend against Yair. Regardless of win or lose, you are going to get the lightweight rematch. And that will be in October in Abu Dhabi. Go to his, it's not his own. But go to the closest place that he resonates his own. Go to Abu Dhabi, go to Dubai, and go beat him there, Volk.
Yeah.
That's your next challenge. What does 45 even mean anymore when you came so close to beating this guy? The guy, the boogeyman.
Yeah.
The guy that don't talk too much, he's nice and he's mean and big and wrestles the fuck out of goats and bears and rabbits and people.
Bears, rabbits and people. And now boys.
And now boys, you know what I'm saying? People all over the internet on this year, Monday evening in South Africa, people are complaining, they're upset, they're angry. And I understand that if you were looking for Volk to beat Islam Makhachev,
you made that decision before the fight happened. If the fight was going to be close, you were going to say that regardless.
That's how I feel about Luke Rockhold versus Paulo Costa.
Yeah.
I feel like that was I really
Sure.
thought he won. Not just me, a lot of the world.
But I thought
Is that not? Is that not maybe because
we wanted
it so badly, and then it was a close fight, and we decided no, because it was close, and the good thing that he won. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's very tough. I don't know if Islam really won. You know, that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
It's your opinion. It's your opinion, and you deserve that opinion.
And plus me, like, I would feel sad for Islam and fucking ecstatic for Alex Volkanovski because I think he's special. He's
Yeah.
beyond special and a great motivator and inspiration to me personally. So I want to see him do well also. So it's mad. It's been fun. It's been crazy. Will it be put to bed just yet? Don't the fuck think so. So let's keep the discussion going. Let's keep the conversation going. Just keep positive.
Yeah.
You know, if somebody thinks something different, please stop saying, "Oh, you shit." You're
And
down."
stop being so angry.
And angry. Have good
At the end
conversations.
of the day, Volk wasn't that upset as half of the people that weren't in that cage.
Yeah, he should be proud of himself. And now now's the time for him to be upset. Now's the time for him
Yeah.
to get out there and go into the MMA and call for a rematch.
Yeah.
You know, and say, "Oh, I think I won that." You know,
100%.
now's the time to do that. In that moment, you respect for your champion because he is and he's nice. But talk after. Let's get this fight done. I don't want to hear. Honestly, I thought of so many options, so many solutions. Fuck that. Get this fight done, son.
Get it done.
I need Makhachev Volkanovski 2 in my life. ASAP.
Right about now.
That's us for Fighting Out of Cape Town this week. See you back for UFC 285.
Ooh.
Jones vs. Khan.
Oh shit! He's back.
He's back. He's back and he's probably being him like crazy right now.
Doe mij het. Nou mij.
Anyways, thank you so much guys for joining us. Much love.
Peace.